Welcome back everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 1972 Nissan Patrol. This now has 1,356 horsepower, 1,021 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.5 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The vehicle itself now weighs 2,679 pounds, still has its all-wheel drive system, but it now has rally suspension and off-road tyres, and it can do 0 to 60 in 5.798 seconds, 0 to 106.217 seconds, and going to a top speed of 204 miles an hour if it had the room. And yeah, undoubtedly this is not going to be as quick as the Ferrari F80 in the previous episode, which managed to get to the top of the leaderboard by just over half a second. But it will be interesting to see what it will do against other off-road vehicles that we've had so far, like the Volkswagen Rally Golf and the Toyota Land Cruiser, and the BMW X6M competition, for instance. So yeah, but obviously this is older than those cars, so yeah, its age might well hinder it somewhat, especially since it's got well over 1,200 horsepower more than what it had originally. Now, I have had some success with this car online in cross-country racing in, I think it was A-Class, where I swapped in the Ford F450 V8 diesel engine into it, much like I've done with the Nissan Ferrari Turbo, and yeah, it was proved pretty good on that in those couple of races that I was able to get first place in. Not saying it's a winner, a guaranteed winner all of the time, but yeah, it did prove pretty damn quick on those two races that I was competing on, and it's not like I was against, you know, typically poor cars. I even beat a Honda Beat at one point, which, as we all know, is quite an OP car. But this performed well there, and it's doing well here as well. Handles that jump really rather admirably, and it's managing to deal with its power okay as well. Now, granted, this V8 engine does not have as much torque as that diesel engine has. This has about 400 pounds-feet of torque less, but you do get a lot more in the way of horsepower, as you could only think you get about 814 maximum out of that V8 diesel engine. So we have nearly 1,400 horsepower here, so yeah, definitely plenty of power. And plenty of speed on the go as well. That's a huge amount of airtime there. Also, with it having all-wheel drive native to the car, it's not got a huge amount of understeer either. Also helps that the wheelbase is quite small, so it's, you know, not the most cumbersome of vehicles either. Now, I would say the Nissan Safari Turbo is overall the better car out of the two when upgraded in the manner that I've upgraded them in, because that Safari weighs about a couple £100 less. I was able to give it another 55 extra horsepower, and the handling is technically better. But I still found this really fun to race online, and yeah, it certainly surprises some people, I guarantee, given how old it is, and yeah, it's going quite quickly. It's doing reasonably well here, but not going to light the leaderboard on fire, unfortunately, at 2 minutes 29.049. But that is still quicker than the likes of the Toyota GR Corolla, Honda City E2, as well as the Toyota Land Cruiser, Subaru Viveo RXR, and the Honda Acti. And it's only slightly, just under a second behind the BMW X6M competition, which is obviously a far newer car and still reasonably capable of going off-road. So yeah, I think this is done fairly well, to be honest. It's beaten several more modern cars. Pretty much every car below it is newer than this by quite a considerable margin. The next oldest car would be the Honda City E2 from 1984, and this even this has 12 years on that. So yeah, and like I said, it is the oldest car that we've had on this series so far. So to get into the top 10 is pretty good. It might well not stay there, because I mean, there is undoubtedly going to be faster cars than this in the future on this series, but considering its age and the fact that it's dealing with a lot more power than it had originally, like I said, well over 1,200 horsepower extra, and a huge amount of extra in the way of torque as well. It's held on fairly impressive there, dealt with the jumps okay, had no major issues with understeer, put the power down really nicely, and yeah, even came down from some large airtime onto the ground in a comfortable manner as well. So yeah, all in all, a fairly solid car, even if it's not all that quick. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.